That super speedway program, and were factors in every super speedway race last year.
They were. Michael McDowell and his team, they lose Michael McDowell. Daytona 500 championship. You lose the crew chief. Travis Peterson goes with McDowell, so they lose some of that leadership and some of that experience, and it forces Ty Gilliland and the rest of the guys. It's the next man up. Let's now shift things over. We're still a great race team. We still have very capable drivers, crew chiefs, and team. Racetracks, and it looks like, at least for the moment, they're backing that up.
AJ Allmendinger has just turned in the sixth fastest lap, 49.616 seconds, 181.393 miles an hour. AJ is back full time in the NASCAR Cup Series after a stint in the NASCAR Xfinity Series with Coley Racing. Cup Series campaign this season.
The wind continues to blow here from turn 3 down the backstretch towards, or rather turn 2 down the backstretch.
I don't understand why they qualify at night and run here today.
There was another burst
the race finishes at night.
Sigh of relief that came from
And the
Martin
duels are
Truex
ran
Jr.
at night.
Because he has at least locked himself on right now on speed with Tricon Garage to get into the Daytona 500. Now he can still race his way in tomorrow night, but as it sits right now, Truex knows he will in some way, form, or fashion will be racing in the Daytona 500.
And that time and speed from MTJ is 49.641, 181.302 miles an hour. I know a lot of his fans didn't want to see him go. Not sure they'll await him later on down the line, but at least he will be back for the Great American Race.
Ty Dillon puts the Colleague Chevrolet up to the second
We know who the
spot
better brother is.
in his maiden voyage with Colleague Racing. That's a solid lap for Ty Dillon. So it's
car was
Ryan Priest,
prepared
Ty
for RCR
Dillon,
too.
Austin Dillon, Zane Smith, Todd Gilliland, the rest of the top 10 so far.
No, they don't.
Michael McDowell, AJ Allmendinger, Martin
I said
Truex
he didn't
Jr.,
want to.
Noah Gregson, and Jimmy Johnson.
From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
So about midway through Daytona 500 qualifying presented by Busch Light, the speeds get quicker and quicker and quicker. Ryan Priest, Berlin, Connecticut driver,
I don't like that one of them.
182.349 miles per hour, the only driver to hit a 182 mile per hour average speed so far.
Yeah, and then right behind him,
I don't
I'm
like
gonna text him right now and go,
Chevrolets,
look
Ty
who's
Dillon.
which
Look
brother's
who the better brother is.
Tell him I said so. Look who's the better brother
Sixth
now.
and third, Joe. One thing we do know, Martin Truex Jr. in the number 56 Tricon Garage Toyota. He will be racing on Sunday in the Great American Race. He has locked himself in on speed. Jimmy Johnson currently sits as the second open car on speed right now with just one more remaining. We have Chandler Smith yet to go out to make his lap. He'll be out in a couple of cars, but that's got to be a huge sigh of relief for Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, good to have a champion in the race with Martin Truex Jr. That'll be the first NASCAR Cup Series start for Tricon Garage as well. And
This is
they will
working
start
so far.
The 67th running of the
I
Daytona
changed it.
500.
I had it
Remember,
on like the
tomorrow
regular,
night, this
kind of
event
crappy
will set the
quality, and
starting
then I
lineup.
upgraded it.
The duels
It's
really
still working,
will know what the first two
but I'm
qualifiers
worried
will be
that
for the Daytona
it's
500.
gonna not work
We'll also
at
know
some point,
how they will stack
and it's
up
gonna
for
turn off, and
duel
I'm not
1
gonna
and
fucking
2
know.
here tomorrow night to really
I'm
set
gonna
the
keep a
starting
battery
lineup for
in
the
it.
Daytona 500.
Just in case.
Plugs. Forget pit stops too.
That's what
E3
makes it
gives you
overheat.
maximum
That
fuel
guy
efficiency
said,
for more miles on the road and less time at the pump. E3 spark
overheats, it's
plugs,
gonna turn on.
power, speed, domination. Get yours today.
I can't help but to sit here and marvel at the lap
not
Ty
worried
Dillon
about that
put in.
shit during
Second
the truck
fastest
race
behind
when it's
Ryan
dark.
Priest so far. We spent some quality time with Ty Dillon earlier
If it
today.
don't fucking record
The
either way, it
young
don't
man is
matter.
oozing with enthusiasm
It
and
turns
positivity, and he knew and believed in himself that he could get the job done. And he said, point blank, Mike,
better to try
this is
during
his
Arbor
best
racing.
NASCAR Cup Series opportunity with Colleague Racing, and they put down a whale of a lap.
He gave mad props to Matt Colleague and Chris Race, the president of Colleague Racing. Chris has been harping and preaching. One welcome. One welcome. What that means is Colleague Racing is on the campus of Richard Childress Racing in Welcome, North Carolina. And they want to merge their efforts, work together. Basically, that saying of rising tide raises all boats. Well, they're looking for a lot of high tide over there to raise the performance of all of those cars on that campus north of Charlotte. And right now, at least in qualifying for the 500, it's paying off.
Because I can't check it on my phone.
AJ
It's no
Allmendinger
battery.
is still in the top 10 right now, too. He is sitting in the number 7 spot. So at least here early early on in qualifying. It's impressive from what we're seeing. There's still quite a few drivers still to go here to take their time. Riley Herbst is just pulled on the racetrack. He is a Rookie of the Year contender this year, driving for 2311.
When we last left Riley Herbst at Phoenix Raceway, the NASCAR Xfinity Series season finale, he took the checkered flag and won that race. Both he and his crew chief, Davin Restivo, have come over to 2311 as 2311 has expanded to a 3-car operation this season as well.
Obviously, 2311 Racing is one of the top teams here, and especially waving the Toyota banner. He's a 3-time Xfinity Series race winner, understands what it takes to drive at the Cup level. He's got a handful of Cup Series starts, I believe 8 or 9 Cup Series starts already under his belt over the last couple of years, including Daytona 500 starts.
Right now, Riley Herbst is halfway down the back straightaway, and we'll see what Riley is able to accomplish in his qualifying effort. Right now, it would look like that he's jostling for a position on the bubble or around the bubble. Jimmy Johnson is that driver right now at a 49.783 second lap. Here comes Riley. He's just exited turn number 4, and he's
Jimmy Johnson by only 7/1,000ths of a second faster than Jimmy. I'm sorry, check that. A tenth or so faster. I can do my math. 100th faster than Jimmy Johnson. 100th. It'd take 3 times, but I'm good with numbers, Mike.
Chandler is trying to get a lap in the books, and he also is trying to pierce that top 10 position standing right now. If you're just joining us, the top 10 will be reset, and they'll advance to round 2, and they'll get another lap, and we'll know who's going to be on the front row for the Daytona 500. Right now, that top 10 includes Ryan Preece, Ty Dillon, Austin Dillon, Zane Smith. You also got Ty Gilliland, Michael McDowell, AJ Allmendinger, Martin Truex Jr., Noah Gragson, and Riley Herbst. They are the top 10 as of right now.
Chandler Smith is on the racetrack. He's our last open car to try to get a qualifying lap in. Jimmy Johnson is a very interesting onlooker right now. How they do it, we'll wait and see. Waiting for Chandler Smith to get his lap in.
Chandler Smith will not take that spot away from Jimmy Johnson. Matter of fact, a huge sigh of relief. We're looking down there trackside as Jimmy Johnson just gets a huge sigh of relief. And right now, Chandler Smith 50.351, 22nd overall. Jimmy right now is 11th. So Jimmy will be racing in the 500 in some form or fashion.
Well, so and for those that don't know how this works, it is different and it's unique to the Daytona 500. So the teams that come to Daytona, which are called open cars that don't have a turn guaranteed spot, well, the 2 fastest from qualifying know they're guaranteed a spot in, but they can still race their way in via a dual race tomorrow night. If they do that, they forego their qualifying speed, and that goes down to the next one in line. But either way, Chris Miller, we know Jimmy Johnson will be part of the 67th running of the Daytona 500.
Yeah, and he just gave a big fist bump there. Talk to Elliott. Like, how nervous were you guys last time?
Yeah, what I went through last year was so frightening, and I'm glad I don't have to go through it again. I'm certainly, respect this process and don't envy the guys that got to race their way. It's so tough. But I'm very happy with my Toyota, very happy with everybody at Legacy Motor Club. We've got a lot of 3 cars, they're all quite fast.
You and Martin Truex Jr., so 2 more Toyotas join the fold. How important will that be for tomorrow in the duels to kind of help your teammates?
Yeah, from a teammate standpoint, and also the goal to get a Toyota victory lane on Sunday afternoon is really the most important thing. So we're off to a great start.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Jimmy Johnson, the 2-time Daytona 500 champion, is in the 67th edition here this year.
From one Toyota driver to another. Let's get the thoughts of Martin Truex Jr.
Martin Truex Jr. down here, Martin, just the relief factor of knowing your family number 56 car is in the 500.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. Thankful for
Not tonight.
Racing on Sunday they will, that's for sure. A pair of former champions. Jimmy Johnson, the 7-time champion. Martin Truex Jr., a champion in the Cup Series. And they both will be racing in the Daytona 500. But again, we don't know where because of this process. They could race their way into starting spot trying to find the field here tomorrow night in these dual races.
They can, and we'll all wait and see how that plays out. Don't forget the duel here at Daytona. We heard live right here on the Motor Racing Network. Starting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. 6 p.m. Eastern. Hamlin takes the checkered flag across the line to lead his lap. Fourth fastest, 49.496 seconds for Denny. That boats Noah Gregson out of the top 10 and puts Martin Truex Jr. on the wall as we continue our way through qualifying. With Chase Elliott coming to the line to take the green flag, we'll get you back on the track and get you his lap time. Racing Network. Motor Racing Network live at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. We're qualifying for the front row to be locked in to the 67th renewal of the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. I'm Alex Hayden, alongside is Mike Bagley. Steve Post and Chris Willer are down on the pit lane. While Chase Elliott wraps up his lap, we head back to the pit lane and Chris.
And William Byron, last year's Daytona 500 winner, about to climb in. William, real quick, short practice. You had one job, one lap. How do you feel about it?
Oh, good. I mean, just trying to do my job, get through the years. It's really exciting for the year. This Exalta Chevy looks really awesome, so excited to get in it and drive it, and just ready for the weekend journey.
In general, it is going to be an early contender for paint scheme of the year. The Exalta Chevrolet with the flames and 0-2 pass of Jeff Gordon's first Exalta paint scheme, and of course William Byron's first. Motorsports back on the front row once again.
He is indeed. He's going to be a fun one to watch when it's time to go qualifying. His teammate Chase Elliott just went 7th on board. So Chase Elliott going to try to hang into the top 10 to be able to advance to the next round here in qualifying. Ryan Blaney is now 10th. He's the guy on the bubble with Brad Keselowski making his way around the racetrack. Brad Keselowski, of course, team car with the driver who is currently fastest so far qualifying in Ryan Preece.
Here comes Brad Keselowski through turns 3 and 4. Had a chance to catch up with Brad today on our coverage of Daytona 500 Media Day here at the World Center of Racing. Brad very confident, pumped up, had a big old smile on his face. In style after his qualifying run.
He'll be 8th right now, and he'll bump Ryan Blaney out of the top 10, puts A.J. Allmendinger on the bubble. Keselowski falls in line 8th with Ryan Preece, still the fastest. Back to the lane, Steve Post.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace down here. He's kind of hanging out talking with Ross Chastain. Bubba is a 2-time runner-up. Last year, what do we need to do to get your 500 win here on Sunday? What do you need to do?
I don't know if tonight really matters. I think tonight we just gotta make sure everything is good, and hopefully they have a good lap. Our teammates are right there with each other, so we should be right in the ballpark. Man, I'll say this is the best looking McDonald's game we've had, so I think that's the ticket.
That looks really, really good. It absolutely does. How did it feel in the practice session today? Do you have a sense or no sense at all?
I think we got a decently clean lap, which was hard to do today. Everybody out there for single car stuff, but all in all, it was
I was talking about the hat.
good. Biggest thing is working with Charles, getting everybody familiar with that, and just going be smart about everything. It's kind of the same answer every year when I talk to you on pit road. Be smart, don't make any dumb moves tomorrow, and save it for Sunday and go get them.
Go get him, that's for sure. You mentioned Charles. That's Charles tonight, the new crew chief over here, taking over for Robert Booty Barker. And I think
what happened to Booty?
A lot of success together. They seem to really be meshing well.
Shane Van Gisbergen has just put a time on the board, 17th overall, 49.789 seconds, 180.763 miles an hour. not the lap that SVG was looking for.
No, not at all. But he does have an opportunity to get a better starting spot in tomorrow's dual races for the Daytona 500. Kyle Larson is on the back straightaway right now. Larson sets up for turn number 3, trying to hold a pretty steering wheel and not screw the speed off by moving it around and screwing the front tires back and forth. No more than what they have to. Larson trying to get inside the top 10 to give himself a spot in the final round of qualifying. Larson does trip the timing lights. 5th overall, 49.504, 181.803, and he beats Zane Smith by 3/1000ths of a second to take that 5th position. Back to the postman.
Ross Chastain on here, trying to getting set up to get ready to go do a qualifying run here. We'll see what he has here. Had a little radio communication problems in practice today, but he had a chance to go out and shake the race car down. Ross, you had a little lack of communication from your spotter today, but what was the communication from the car? How'd you feel aboard this Chevy?
Bouncy for a much like Chevy postman. I just saw this right on the beach this morning. I went for a run, and the high tide had me pinned up against the seawalls, the whole thing. I was out there, I was about to drown, I felt like, out on the beach. But no, it's cool to be back in Daytona. It's not that the cars drive great Wednesday night for qualifying, but yeah, quiet on the radio. And we got through
Your sponsor, Bushlight, has your face everywhere here. On every sign, every billboard, every fence. What's that like, just kind of knowing and seeing yourself here at Daytona with such a presence that you're your sponsor and you're able to have here at this special place?
Yeah, the memories from sitting in the stands are almost right across from us. We're right here at and so I have a memory of kind of right up here, which is always so cool to think about. And with Busch Light now, it's everything I ever dreamed of. It's everything I worked for. And whenever we first thought about the thought of going and trying to onboard Busch Light and show them who Trackhouse was, Justin and I talked about the thought of it can make us bigger than the one car. It can put us in places we'll never even be able to dream of, and places like everywhere in Daytona Beach, and in places like the Super Bowl. So that was a really cool experience to go out with Busch Guy in the woods and talk about beer. I mean, it's right up. It's everything I wanted, and I told him in our first meeting, I'm already drinking Busch Light, and whether he's
He's a consumer as well. And yeah, Ross Chastain. Those of you listening across the country, there are signs everywhere. You can't go 100 yards out here without seeing Ross Chastain's smiling face.
That's not a bad thing. He's a likable young man and certainly very humble from when describing sitting in the grandstands with his family to now racing in the Daytona 500 as a regular on the NASCAR Cup Series Tour. Just had Chris Buescher from Roush Fenway Keselowski. He was 11th fastest is the lap that he just put in. So he will not make the top 10. Michael McDowell continues to be the driver on the bubble as Ryan Preece still sits atop the leaderboard from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Just 11 cars remain in this first round of qualifying for the Daytona 500. Ryan Preece still number 1. We'll keep an eye on that bump spot with Michael McDowell sitting 10th. Those are the drivers that will advance into round number 2 with an opportunity at the front row for the Great American Race.
Yeah, and as you're keeping an eye on that bump spot so you see who goes into round 2, Joe, you look down that pit lane and you see the 11 cars that are left to go out on track to turn a lap. There's some heavy hitters still to go. You got Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, William Byron, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe, newly in the number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing Machine, and then Josh Berry in the Wood Brothers car. So there's some big names on the pit road that are still yet to go out and qualify.
It's going to be fun to see what the top 10 will be when we roll these final 11 cars. Hey, if you're planning your day tomorrow, I just want to let you know the Midway area and the fan zone opens up at 3 o'clock. Venue gates tomorrow at 4. We'll have the Craftsman Truck Series on track for practice tomorrow. We've got a lot of Q&As and excitement going on leading into the duel at Daytona. Duel number 1 to see the green flag at about 7 o'clock tomorrow night. We look forward to hosting you once again tomorrow here at the World Center of Racing. Qualifying continues on. Alex Bowman, he's been on the front row of the Daytona 500 again. Can he do it again here tonight at the World Center of Racing? Let's rejoin the Motor Racing Network in just a moment.
So Alex Bowman getting ready to roll off the pit road right now, getting the signal from the official. He will jump on the gas, go up through the gearbox, and then head into turn 1 to climb the banking here at Daytona International Speedway. Joe, very important to get through the gears and get to turn 1 quickly.
Alex Bowman, feet away from winning the Daytona 500 last year, side by side with this teammate William Byron as they came across the white flag, but it was Byron who came away with the 2024 edition of the Daytona 500. Alex Bowman, oh so close, trying to see if he can make it. Pole number 17 for Hendrick Motorsports. They have been dominant when it comes to qualifying here for the Great American Race as Alex Bowman comes up to speed looking for the green flag next time by. Back to MRA.
Alex Bowman is on the racetrack right now, getting his first lap of qualifying in, waiting for him to get back to the checkered flag. We check back in with Chris Wilner. Across the start-finish line as Bowman takes the green flag and begins his qualifying lap. Steve Post, who have you caught up with?
I've caught up with Ty Dillon, and Ty has been all smiles ever since this college racing thing was announced. And Ty, we're not there yet. We've still got a bunch of cars to go, but when your car is number 2 on the scoring pylon, leading qualified, I'm assuming you're still all smiles.
Yeah, it's something to be proud of, no matter what happens. Start of the year, it's really good how much I believe it does for our team, and the guys have just been so focused every day this offseason on just making our race cars fast. And it's the purest thing about racing that we all love is going fast in race cars and working on our cars. And Andrew and everybody back in and momentum and confidence. We've built up so much off-season momentum, signing 2 great sponsors with Grizzly Nicotine Pouches and Seabed Seafood, selling most of our races. A lot of teams don't have that, and to come to the track with speed, it's a great start. So we still got a couple bullets to dodge here, and hopefully the second round's good to us too, but I'm very proud.
This whole area was lock themselves in to the final run to run for pole position.
Yeah.
Trackside Chris.
Todd Gilliland is anxiously waiting to see if he makes the top 10 here. You're close, you're in 8. I know there's still some cars to go, but how proud are you of this organization just continuing to bring bullets here to the Daytona?
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, the 38's up there, 34, and then the 4's fast also. So, yeah, it's been a long off season, right? Expanding from 2 to 3 cars for when I first motorsports, and on top of that, just a long starting day here in Daytona, right? These guys got in here at 6 a.m. So, yeah, proud of everyone. It's been a relatively smooth day, and yeah, we'll see. It's like I said, there's a lot of good cars left, but nonetheless, still very capable.
Organization, I mean, you guys are all buddies between you and no one's. I mean, it's one of those things that there's a friendship there too. So what is that like when you race against your friends?
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. I think you just really have to be able to separate it, right? You can be friends away from the racetrack, but you know, the only team I'm fighting for here is this 34 car we're out there. So.
Just watching the top 10, Kyle Larson turning into